Hello everyone, welcome, and today I'm going to make another character review on an SR character. And before I'm gonna talk more about it, I'm just gonna say that I still recommend you to use an SSR more than an SR, but I make this video so if you kinda like a certain SR character, then I'm just gonna rate the character and see what my opinion is, and I'm based on my opinion, I'm just gonna say that the character is worth or not. And one thing is for sure is that I kind of recommend you, if you want to use an SR, just fully awaken the character, because I think that will be much better to keep up with the other SSR, and may or may not be you just need the character just to fill out the slot on your element team. So yeah, and today I'm gonna talk about Magilou and Rose. So yeah, first of all I'm gonna talk about Rose, and we're gonna talk about Magilou or whatever it is. This form tells Crestoria, but I never played that. So yeah, now let's talk about her. I'm not gonna talk about the stats, because the stats is definitely gonna be a little bit worse than the SSR, so it does not matter. And I'm not gonna compare my rating between the SR character, if I rate this SR 8 out of 10, then it doesn't mean it's as good as 8 out of 10 on SSR. So yeah. Now let's take a look at her skills, and she normal attack hits 3 times. That is incredible. Her artist 2 lightning tiger blade hits 4 times, and dream slasher hits 3 times. So it hits more than 2 enemies. It's an AoE, yeah. And take a look at his full awakened skills. Is not kidding around. 4% attack to all allies at 20 hits, and 6% chance dual bat type allies cooldown of archers reset after use. Not as good, but sure, whatever. Now take a look at her skills. It seems that Lightning Tiger Blade have 100% chance to increase attack of all allies by 5% for 2 turns. This is a premium buff, and it's a pretty good premium buff as well. And it's not that bad at all when I look at this. This is just a support. You don't really care whether she is do hitters or not. I think she's possibly just a semi-hitters. No, not really, but she's just a debuff. A buffer, and that's it. And the cooldown is 4, and so she have essentially 2 turns cooldown. And it's not the worst thing possible, but the buff was not that bad at all. So if you missing an Earth character on your Earth team, then sure you can use her, or you just want to use general buff, then she is pretty good. So yeah. And is she worth your time on everything? Hardly, but maybe. Yeah, it's worth, but it's on the top tier, on the lowest tier one, because even though you can, she's just definitely just a premium buffer, but with not as, it's 5% was pretty low though. I still really like if they just decrease the defense more than buff up your allies attack, but it's still good though. The reason why the meaning of it's worth it on the lowest tier, I guess, it doesn't mean that she's bad though. No, she's just good but not amazing, if you understand what I meant. So if you just need this buff, then I think it's fine, because it's still a pretty good buff to all allies, and it's not gonna miss in any way possible, so it's gonna be a guaranteed party-wise buff. So yeah. And I think this could increase. Oh no, I don't think it could be increased though, whatever this level in any way possible, but it's still pretty good. Is she worth? Yeah, she worth it, but it's not something that you should prioritize. You need to think more about it, because do you really need this buff or not, or you just want to fill out the the missing characters on your Earth team? Then sure, it's fine. And if you really, but one thing that for sure, this character specifically, I don't think you need to full awaken her. But then again, I think it's gonna be too low. So yeah, and you just use her for the buff, that's it. So yeah, end of story. If you don't need the buff, then don't use her. It's more like that. Is she worth or not? She herself is fine, she's pretty good. But if you have if you have a buffer in your team, just ignore her. But she's best for just fill out your missing team on your dual blades or your Earth team. So yeah, you can, because this full awaken, usually you can do this. You can full awaken her just couple of months even, then you possibly can already full awaken her skills. So yeah, because she's an SR, so you have a higher drop rate to get her. So yeah. and you have a high chance to full awaken this. But like, I don't think she's just that incredible. It's just like she's more like a filler more than anything, a not so bad filler. So yeah, it's still okay, still good. Now take a look at Magilou. So yeah, there you go, a really good looking character. Now the stats, just like I said, does not matter. I'm just gonna take a look at her skills and ability. Her full awaken skills is which 86% attack to water allies and HP of water allies restored by 5% when a wave starts. A pretty good full awaken skills, not bad. And now take a look at her skills. Normal attack hits 1 time, Violet Storm hits 6 times but an AoE, and Final Embrace is 2 times and is also AoE. And both of the skills have their own debuff and buff. With her Violet Storm, have a 20% chance to cast poison to 2+ enemies on AoE for 3 turns, and 100% chance to decrease attack of all enemies by 5%. Is a premium debuff. She is incredible, one of the most incredible character I think out there. And if you have a chance to full awaken her, and I think she's gonna be a pretty good kind of like your debuffer, or you're just fill out a slot for your Artes team or your water team. She is a really good candidate for it. It's a really good one. She have a party premium debuff, even though it's not defense but attack still okay, and she also can have possibility to gain poison, which is really incredible because poison is pretty much similar to burn, but like this an AoE, which is incredible if you hit everyone. So she's a really good character in S4 and SR, even though 20% is kind of low, but it's still, you still have a chance to land on it. So as for an SR character, this is not a bad skill to have at all. If I must rate her, she's possibly just 9 out of 10 already, due to the fact I'm just comparing her to other SR, that this is one of the more incredible one. You want to full awaken her, I think, due to the fact you want her to survive longer, so you can just spam the debuff to your opponent. Even though it's pretty high cooldown, but I think you can get around it pretty easily, yeah. It's not bad at all, it's pretty good, it's really nice. If you kind of like think that the cooldown is too long, then just use one of the buff. After the other buff is gone, you click the skill on example Final Embrace, and after you use the skill, you use Violet Storm and just so on and so forth. Don't need to just like this turn you use Final Embrace and actually you immediately click Violet Storm, then the cooldown is gonna be feel pretty long. But as for right now, if you want to use the character the way you want to use it, then it's okay, and this skill is still a useful thing to have. So as for an SR, that is. And so she's a 9 out of 10 for, in my opinion, as an SR. She's a really good one. Is she worth it or not? Definitely worth it, especially if you need debuffer. She can fill the role, and I think you'll be happy about it. And if you need a slot for your water team or Artes team, she is not bad at all, especially if you can full awaken her. This I mean, like for water, I guess it's not that bad at all. She can heal also. Then if you use this on water team, and I still recommend you to use this Magilou compared to just a general team. More likely on a water team, it will be much better. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Oh yeah, I didn't really rate Rose. I think Rose just 7 out of 10 in my opinion. She's just an okay character. It's cause like, even though the buff is premium, but I don't think buff is much bad. I think debuff is much better compared to a buff. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm definitely gonna make more Tales of Crestoria video, and I'll see you all then in the next video. Bye bye.